picked up a great beat on your supercar stereo, Jazz.
You dig it, huh, Spike? Well, let me rev up the decibels for you.
You know, it's just good to see that, you know, there's more than just old creepy men in their basements.
I would have waited an eternity for this.
Takara might have rushed the production of Thundercracker to get it out before Christmas.
Takara's just trying to beat everyone to the punch now.
Frankly, I think I'm going to end up buying this.
This figure's not overly complicated in design.
Has the toy version got a different head sculpt?
Isn't there a captain of the Lost Lamppost?
He's co-captain. He's
Yeah, especially considering they cost so much.
Let's get down to business, shall we? Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf, the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. This is episode 48, recording live on February the 5th, 2016. I'm Jason. That's Brad's chair. That's Brad. Hey, say hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Yeah, you got to remember, so we're using Hangouts this week, and just because we switched to new technology doesn't mean the old jokes are going away. So, joining us this week, we also have Travis Watts coming live from Adelaide. Travis, say hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Trev. You're welcome.
Yes, welcome back to the podcast. The last time we had you on was very early days last year. I think it was episode 3 or 4 or something like that. It's been a while. It's been a thing. What's happened to you for the last year?
I just honestly I've grown older, fatter. Tiny bit wiser, but not a lot.
I'll tick those boxes.
Yeah, I think we all have to tick the boxes unless we have a TARDIS to take us back in time. But some of us have been trying to not do the fatter part, and some of us have been failing harder than others.
Failing.
Look, Brad, how's your week been?
It's been busy. I suppose we'll bring a little bit of the community news into it. We've had the February donation raffle start. It's been off to a good start. We've sold 30 tickets so far. That's going strong. As you're listening to this, we've started our members-only giveaways that will run for this week. Outside the group, trying to get the Batcave built so I can move all this into the Batcave and get set up properly and be able to do this any time of the day.
So just for the benefit of the listeners, the Batcave you will not actually have to share with a billionaire playboy called Bruce Wayne, will you?
Maybe that's spewing.
I'll take his money. I'll take it. But no. There is no Batmobile in there.
Oh well.
There is no mobile in there.
It's pretty disappointing, actually.
There might be a bat. There's no mobile.
There could be, yes. All right, so let's get down to business, shall we? So, Off the Shelf is the podcast for Transformers Collectors Club Australia. The TCCA website is www.transformerscca.com. You'll find links there to the Facebook groups, the YouTube channel, Twitter page, and of course the podcast. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, so head over and give us a review. The link is in the website and in the show notes. And also the podcast does go up on YouTube in video form where you'll see all of the items that we talk about on the show. And now that we've switched over to recording on Hangouts, you might actually see us. Sort of. I don't know. It depends. Yeah, Brad's. something tells me that
no one.
something tells me that Brad's going to cut himself in waving into the video of this podcast. So we'll see. If you are watching this podcast on YouTube and you do not see Brad waving back at you, please address your complaints to complaints@transformerscca.com.
No, I'm using a free video editor, so I keep on getting a codec. You do not have the retired codec to edit this video. Moving on.
All right, let's move on.
Community news.
So, if you're listening from, how about I do that again? If you are listening in Australia, you can become a paid and proud member of the club for just $5. Send a private message to Brad in the Facebook group. Say hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Or send a message on the TCCA website to get your membership underway. Membership is just $5 a year, and the membership fee goes to help purchase prizes for raffles, purchase tables at Supernova so that we can get the club out there and get a few more members. And there's also a few plans afoot to do a few good deeds around the place. So get your membership underway, become a paid and proud member, and join the rest of us. So, Brad. Let's have a membership update count, shall we? I feel like there's like a drum roll that should be in there.
Insert some type of music here. Yes, paid and proud member count for this week has jumped by 10 to 193.
That's pretty good.
We're about to hit the 200, and I think by the time this is released, we will certainly be there. And social member count is 1,594, so we're knocking on that 1,600 member door as well. So great to see.
That's
cool.
good.
I should just point out, because we are recording on a Hangout, if there is some noise in the background, we do apologise. We'll sort it out.
We are a family friendly podcast.
We are a family featuring podcast tonight, so that's right. If you hear some noise in the background, it does not detract from your enjoyment of the episode, and it should be fine.
Exactly.
We've also launched a survey for the 50th episode, or the 1 year anniversary of the podcast, because there's a couple of weeks in there that we didn't do it, so it's close enough.
Yep.
If you are listening to this right now, please take the time to fill out your favourite figures of 2015, and there's also a few podcast-specific questions on there. It'll stay up on the site for a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about the answers when they come in.
Yep, it'll be on the off-the-shelf Facebook page, it'll be on the TCA group, and it'll be on the website, so have a look for it, fill it out. There's a couple of what your favourite figures were from last year, and some podcast-specific stuff, so yep, all good.
All right. Now, this is a section that we don't always do because some of us don't always actually look at the group enough that week. Favourite post of the week. I'm quite proud to say that I've come up with both of the favourite posts of the week this week. So
I did have a replacement up until this morning, but I forgot to put it in, so I'll go for your original.
All right. So I had one that got changed today. So, Brad, do you want to take the first post of the week?
Yes. Patrick Smith posted on Saturday last week. He was looking for some aerial bots to add to his Metroplex, his G1 Metroplex, and had some photos up of some original toy pics of G1 Metroplex with the aerial bots attached to the legs and arms. And
now, did we actually realise this was possible?
I don't think anybody did.
No, and YouTube viewers, you'll see I've got photos here of the instruction sheet for Metroplex, which actually has the attachment instructions for the aerial bots to his limbs. So this is something that was original with the G1 figure, yet no one knew or done. So that was awesome. I've been meaning to do it. Looking in my display now, I've got Superion and his 2 feet. I don't know where the arms are, so I'm 2 aerial bots down at the moment, but I've been wanting to try it myself, and I'm just wondering if I can do a similar thing with Menasor and Triptychon. But
so the part of this that actually really blew my mind is that you can actually attach the combiners to the cities, not just the limbs. Like in robot mode, you can attach the aerial bots to like his shoulders and stuff, but then when you're actually in when he's out in city mode, you can like it's almost like some of the exploded out base modes, the unofficial modes that people have done for like Masterpiece Soundwave, where you sort of like you unfold them symmetrically and sort of sit them down, and it's like a base sitting on your desk, and you can actually attach that to Metroplex, and it's sort of like an extension of the city.
Well, I have the G1 Motormaster, and for the longest time I thought that turned into some sort of plane or something, aircraft, just the way the ramps fold down, the wings come out to the side, and everything else.
Now you probably know why.
Yeah. and seeing these photos like that, I know the Decepticons, they all team up to Trypticon, the aerial bots, Defensor, or Hotspot mainly. He does the same, turn inside out, and becomes part of Metroplex.
Yeah.
And this is all the same thing that Titan's Return is doing with Fort Max. Soundwave, or maybe not Soundwave, but he will. Him.
Well, Soundwave and Blaster have base modes.
Power Master Optimus Prime does. Again, they're all going to attach, and just it's all playsets. Return to playsets, and if anything, I'm happy to have the playsets over the figures as they look.
Yeah. Now, just before we do go on, Travis, I am going to have to ask you to put Optimus Prime down because he's making a lot of noise into the microphone.
Down, Prime, down.
Yes, everyone must down primes for the podcast. So my other favourite post of the week was actually one that came up today. I do apologise, I can't remember who posted it, but I actually laughed out loud at my desk at work and sort of had a few funny looks at me. It was kind of a mashup of some Devastator limbs and a Buzz Lightyear.
I had a good laugh with that.
I rather enjoyed that. I can't remember who posted it, but it came up during the day today. And,
I thought I had saved.
It was pretty good. That's okay. That's making a lot more noise in the mic now.
Sorry. It's just great that, especially now for Onslaught. Oh, not Onslaught, but Bruticus. There's no Onslaught, so you got limbs for that. You've got limbs for this and that. Everything hanging around. I'm surprised no one's found a non-Transformers torso to try and stick all these things to.
Would a Hero Masher's torso work?
I've got a Jurassic World Spinosaur. I'll try and put something destructive to it.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, so look, that's favourite post of the week done. Without any further ado, let's go on to the news, shall we?
Let's go.
Okay, so funnily enough, I said doo-doo there, and that might be what this ends up being. So we've got Hasbro's made a few announcements at the Nuremberg Toy Fair this week. Now, I think we were expecting to hear more Transformers news from Nuremberg Toy Fair, but it's actually been it's usually quite private and a little bit secretive, and so it's not really a public show. But there's one board member from TFW 2005 who was there, and they managed to get to some of the Transformers panels and find out what's coming for the year ahead. So, very little surprise. We know that Titan's Return is about to be the line that Combiner Wars transitions into, and the big thing, the very first thing that we're going to get is Titan class Fortress Maximus is coming soon in the Titan's Return line. He's large. He's apparently very G1 accurate, and he of course has a city mode which was previously leaked. There's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not he's going to have the tread backpack that he has in IDW, and I think it's probably right that this figure doesn't, because he's not the IDW Fortress Maximus. Like, Fort Max in IDW's universe is just a normal size Transformer. He's not a city. What we have also seen is a smattering of Deluxes and Titan Master heads. Now, the Titan Master heads are new for us. They've never sold Headmaster heads separately. And so what you can do is you can buy deluxes that have detachable heads, and you can swap the heads over from the Titan Master packages. Now, Hasbro is apparently said to be using this to give customers a choice between sort of Combiner Wars or Titan Returns universe heads and IDW comic heads for certain characters. Now, this also explains the leak that we saw a couple of weeks ago of a head of Chrome Dome, which did look very much like the comic, because that's going to be the Titan Master version of Chrome Dome that you can buy. There will apparently be a Chrome Dome Deluxe. We just haven't seen it yet. And so apparently the Titan Masters are going to be $5 or $10 a piece. And so it should be a good way to get some alternative heads for your figures.
It also helps small children lose their heads and can get new ones.
Yes, although I'm not entirely sure whether you can get the original ones that come with the figures as Titan Masters, or if you need to sort of safeguard those.
It's going to be a head that plugs into it. We've seen combiners previously. This is going to be heads combined. They're just going to release box set after box heads to combine or to plug into each figure.
So if you can get all the heads to combine with each other, does that make them a headmaster? Because that does actually seem to be the nomenclature they're using. They're using Titan Master, not Headmaster. Yeah. Possibly because you probably can't trademark Headmaster, but you can probably trademark Titan Master.
Yeah.
But even then, they can release a 4-pack of heads. They turn into their own little mini figures, and it's just Micro Masters all over again. Instead of turning an alt mode, they have head.
Each of the heads does come with a small accessory. So in this report from TFW, it says that there is actually a Titan Masters ape face coming that is a head with a small ape-like vehicle, which makes slightly less sense than it did before. But we assume that there's a deluxe ape face to go with the head. So we'll see.
Monkey car.
Soon there'll be Hot Wheels because of the Mattel and Hasbro merger, so it'll be
so we weren't really going to talk about that because it is just a rumor, but
so just Barbie, we might get some Barbie heads to go with them.
Woohoo!
So there has been a rumor today that Mattel and Hasbro have been in talks to merge. We'll see about that. Anyway,
it'd be more of an aggressive takeover.
Nuremberg Toy Fair news. Back to the Nuremberg Toy Fair.
On topic.
Not get into the weeds so early, shall we? So there is, of course, a leader class Power Master Optimus Prime. We don't have pictures of it. It's said to look pretty nice in person. Actually, I think there was a leak of this one a few months ago, wasn't there? Or
yeah, we've seen him.
There's been some kind of a picture of it. There's a Legends class wheelie. No one really knows why they keep making wheelie.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. If we don't see it, I won't be upset, but that's okay.
Repainted blue.
Apparently, he's very G1-like, with a windshield that opens up to have a seat for a Titan Master, although apparently he was only shown in robot mode.
I bet that windshield's easily lost too, just like the original one.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. So of course we have seen Leader Class Blaster and Leader Class Soundwave. So it's a confirmation that they're coming. That's about it for Titan's return news from the Nuremberg Toy Fair. We are expecting more at the New York Toy Fair, which is coming up in the next week or two, I think.
Yeah, next weekend. I'm pretty sure it's on.
So we'll probably talk about. We'll probably have. I don't know. It depends.
We might have to. Might have to do a wait.
That's what I was getting at, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. More Hasbro news. Platinum Edition figures. They've announced 2 sets of Platinum figures. One is a Rodimus Prime versus Galvatron set, which weirdly is said to be using the titanium Rodimus Prime mold, which is it's been met with a bit of a poor reaction from fandom, and no one who's listening to this will see it, but if at some point this does make it into the video, it's okay, Brad. I won't be upset, but yeah, there's a rather large gap in this figure, and so like we get annoyed. We get annoyed at gaps in figures these days. This one has an enormous gap.
I can see your eye.
Huge. Yes. Yes. Yes, you can. So on the Galvatron side, it's the Universe Galvatron mold, which we've seen used over and over again. I think that thing's pushing 5 or 6 years old. I think now, isn't it?
More.
A little bit older, yeah, fair enough. And so that's one Platinum Edition set, and there's another set that's got 2 sweeps in it. 2 sweeps and a Cyclonus. So I guess it's the Minions set in a way. Yeah. Apparently, one of the sweeps is actually using a different head mold that was seen on a BotCon figure a few years ago. So that's been interesting. Was
the Universe Cyclonus, was that retooled into sweeps?
No, Cyclonus and Scourge would be the...
Scourge.
Scourge is presumably the sweeps.
Okay, all right.
I assume. I don't know. Otherwise, they showed Victorion, which is good because they showed Victorion 6 months ago and they're not releasing it for another 4 months. There's been no other Combiner Wars, which means no Computron, no Predaking, and Hasbro was awfully quiet on Masterpiece news. So, yeah. That's
Hasbro should be quiet on it because Takara we're looking at.
Well, so Hasbro has a Masterpiece line that's they haven't been adding to for quite a while. The most recent Masterpiece was, I think, their Starscream.
That's Starscream Asia. Oh, Starscream Asia, Hasbro Asia.
No. We're talking about Hasbro MP07 Starscream.
Yeah, that they released here.
Yeah, so that was their last Masterpiece. They haven't got any of the new. They haven't. I don't think they've released any. Have they released any of the Lamborghini molds? Did they release a Sideswipe yet? I don't think they did.
Takara did another.
No, we're talking about Hasbro, not Takara.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Takara did it. Hasbro haven't. No.
Yeah, so so Hasbro hasn't actually released anything new in their Masterpiece range for a while. I think they released Blue Streak and Prowl in the last year, which were I think that's their first 2 Datsuns. They haven't done Bumblebee, they haven't done Ultra Magnus, haven't done Star Saber, anyone like that. So
Wheeljack, yeah.
Hasbro's been pretty quiet on the Masterpiece front. It may be that they might be thinking of distributing the Takara ones instead of doing their own Masterpiece line. We don't really know. We know
they're going to release it all in the 1 month. They're going to release it all at once. Get your checks ready.
They'll be super expensive if they go to Toys R Us as well.
$3.99.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know what they're like in the States anyway. Look, that's enough Hasbro news for now. Unless we have any other Hasbro stuff to talk about, I think we're about done. Let's move on to some Takara. Oh, well, I actually, before we move on to Takara, I should actually, Travis, we've just had you sitting there in the background. What's your take on Titan's Return? I am strangely, maybe not strangely, I'm pretty unmoved by it. I don't really care for it. What do you think?
Well, I was just playing around with my that guy.
Point.
Yeah, I've just totally had a mental blank. Look. The little sort of Titan things and the little heads and stuff, they've done it before.
Brainstorm.
Here he is, and I've got him here, and I'm looking at his little robot minion that transforms into his head and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking they're going to do something very similar. I've read a few posts. What was that?
They're redoing that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's the test subject, just like Force Cybertron Bruticus was for Combiner Wars.
Yeah, that's right. So they'll sort of, make something off the back of this, whether or not it works or not. I think we'll see. I think the adults will probably get sick of it, just like adults are now sick of the repaints of Combiner Wars.
Some.
Well, there are some diehards out there that will buy everything that's released, but the latest Bruticus is fantastic. I love it, but I think it's going to be something that's definitely thrown at the kids, I reckon, because they can play with these little heads and swap them with their mates and all of that sort of stuff. So hopefully it breathes some life into the Transformers genre, and to be honest, it would be nice to see the TV shows spin off of it, rather than sort of have to put up with sort of a TV show every now and again that's not quite put together also well, if that makes sense.
Well, we're going to get to machinima stuff later, but
let's just talk about it now. So there's a news item that came up during the week. Apparently they've finished the script for Combiner Wars, the series, which it's kind of interesting to me that they're talking about the script instead of the scripts, which makes me wonder just how many episodes of this we're going to get. You have to actually remember that the Combiner Wars comic was actually fairly short in terms of like major universe crossovers. It was probably like 4 or 5 issues really. And so if you're turning that into an animated series like that, of course they are going to flesh it out. But yeah, I do find it a little bit interesting that they said script instead of scripts. So it might also just be that they're going to actually make one long, maybe a movie-length thing and then split that up into multiple
chop
episodes.
It. Yeah, that's my understanding of it. They're going to chop and change it.
Well, even Transformers Prime was short, so same sort of thing. 3 series,
I assume it's going to be one short series, but yeah.
Anyway, 12 episode run.
To be honest, I'd actually probably prefer they. I mean, given the amount of time it's going to take them to make the animation for it, I would prefer they actually timed their animation and got it going for whatever's coming next year, and then made their animation and then released it at the same time as the third part in the Prime Wars trilogy, which I assume is going to be called Prime Wars. But yeah, it's a bit odd. Like I don't know why they're not going. Oh, look, it's going to take us this amount of time to make the series. Let's animate it now, and then let's get it ready to go when we go to the third year of this set of toys. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
It's interesting. Some of the figures they've got on display behind them. Looks like a pink G1 Jetfire next to Thundercracker. I don't know what's going on there, but they've got a cabinet full of primes. They've got a heap of figures photographed behind them. I don't know why, but
I actually haven't seen any of the photos. Like I've only seen text descriptions of these guys.
There's aliens. They got aliens. They got Star Wars.
Where are you looking at this?
In the Machinima run shot. In the Machinima.
Oh, Machinima, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about Nuremberg Toy Fair.
Yeah, but you wanted to cover this Machinima stuff.
Yeah,
now,
that's fine.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what the big alien sets are. Oh no, it's aliens as well. You got the landing craft and.
I think this is just the toys behind the dude who's giving the interview, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what Bon Scott's on there, but anyway. Alright.
I see a Masterpiece Thundercracker on that shelf as well.
Yeah, I do, yep. Next to a pink.
So just because it makes fantastic listening, we are actually looking at some photographs that were published on Cybertron just as they were discussing the final script being complete for the Combiner Wars series, and there's some really stacked shelves behind the guys that are just absolutely chock full of toys, and I'm actually wondering if they are all original or if there's any third-party Transformers hanging out there. It's a bit hard to tell, but I'm going to assume that they're all originals.
TFW have already brought this up on a podcast this week. I'm pretty sure there is. Memory serves that there are. I think Carrie's in there somewhere. And Mania King.
Totally don't see Carrie. But sure, maybe I'm just not looking at the right shot. Anyway, yeah. Kind of interesting. Let's move on. Let's talk about some Takara stuff, shall we? Takara has been busily showing off their newest Masterpiece creation, who is going to be officially numbered MP31 in a
rebel.
in a move that sank the hearts of at least
God.
3 people. At least 3 people on our group who are annoyed at. Yeah. So Takara, MP31, Optimus Primal. They've shown him in 8 mode. They've shown him in robot mode. They've shown off a variety of faces in the robot mode as well. They're getting quite out there with the figure. It's said to be about 20 centimeters tall, so. He's not going to be massive, but he's also not going to be sort of tiny either. I think that puts him at about the size of the Autobot cars. Is that right or is that wrong?
It's not here. I seen a photo listed this week of him standing next. He fits in with the Generations Voyagers. Rhinox, Rhinox, Rat Trap, Black Arachnia, Can't say a bench. Yeah.
Now I'm not.
So
I'm not a
he's about the same size as what the 10th anniversary one was. So.
Yeah. So I'm not a Beast Wars fan. I know you are. I'm not. So I'm not particularly interested in the episode, but in the figure. But I have been looking on with interest as they reveal more and more about the figure. And I think I said last week, like I'm kind of appreciating some of the lines on the figure. It looks like the transformation process is going to be pretty good as well. There's I think one or two of the modes just look like a bit of a mess at the moment, and maybe the finished paint job on the figure might make them look a little bit better. But I'm still thinking, like, if this figure comes out and it's like $85 to $100, I may just buy it anyway. Where are you falling on this? Are you guys a buy or a leave?
I didn't even watch any of the Transformers Beast Wars at all. It just didn't do anything for me.
No, it didn't do anything for me either.
But the thing with this toy is, like, it was fan requested, isn't it? Is that?
It was on a list a couple of years ago. They done a survey or asking for a list. There was 15 or 20 figures on that list.
Yeah.
He come 5th. I think Star Saber come 4th or 3rd, so that's probably why that got made first.
Yeah.
But I think Megatron was like 2nd on that list, so it's a guide, but it's not a must do. But
yeah. See, here's my only gripe with it. It's the only figure. It's the only Masterpiece figure from that series. So for a collector who can turn around and look into their Masterpiece cabinet, they've got a swag of G1 vehicles and a swag of G1 Decepticons. Then they've got this one 8 figure that goes with nothing else. And it's, they either have to go, all right, well, we're going to make this figure and let's develop the line, because people will enjoy it and have a collection, because that's what it's about. People buy Masterpiece because they're collectors. They don't buy a Masterpiece for their 10-year-old son who pulls its arms and legs off. So, for them to build this one bot and leave it at this one bot, I think it's probably going to turn people away, go, well, what's it going to go with? Oh, I've got this Rhinox, or I've got this, and I have to sort of make my own set sort of thing. I don't know, it just feels like it's a little bit of an eyesore. That's my only thing that I'm thinking with it. That's it. That's pretty much me.
Funny you should say that. Jason, there was one other figure in the Masterpiece line that didn't match, and you brought it. Now,
yeah, I have Star Saber. He's in a box, and I've been thinking of selling him for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah, okay, there's the joke. With him, as I said before, he looks like he scales to the Voyagers and the rest of the Generations Beast figures we've had that have come out before. So he definitely fits. He can go onto the Generations shelf. Now, he's being heavily compared to the 10th anniversary and even the original Beast Wars Primal.
I was actually wondering in these comparisons, like, this is going to sound terrible, but I don't see a lot of differences between the figures.
A lot of people don't. Someone posted they had the 10th anniversary Primal this week. I think it was yesterday. They posted him in the ground pound pose, and he's a great looking figure. Same thing. His ape features. A lot of those figures have more moulding to try and imitate fur, painted fur. Where this one's definitely the screen, sort of the I can't remember the name of the company, but the flat animation, CG animation of it instead of actually having fur for the ape mode.
Mainframe, the company that
Mainframe. That's the one. Yeah, that's them. Bot mode. I'm sure if paint, he'll look. I just lost the thing. He'll look good. Ape mode, as long as he's not bent over and walking on all fours, or trying to do, and I'm raising my arms above my head now, pose, because for some reason when you do that, all these panels pop and do stupid things, and
so that was actually one of the things, the walking on all fours in the 8 mode. It just looked like a mess. Maybe a little better when it's painted, but yeah. So the moral would be don't do that. Don't do that pose. I like the leg designs, and I can see sort of how the feet are going to move around and the legs are going to transform and stuff, and I quite like all of that. That it looks quite good. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I don't have a connection with the character, so
yeah.
But
we get some shots here of the head mode and everything here too. Like, I didn't realise that the head was on a swivel and the ape and the bot mode head was separate. I thought maybe it was like a pretender shell and it split, but no, the whole head rotates on the shoulders and tucks back into the torso. He's got the swords, he's got his guns in his wrists, all that sort of stuff. I don't think we've seen the back of the robot mode to see if he's got a jetpack. I can't see nothing there.
He's got seen behind him.
He's got his cannons on his shoulders, like everything here. I'm not sure about the fully enclosed face mask, i.e. Prime, G1 Prime. I can't recall that happening in the series, but his duck beak and everything else.
I always thought whenever I saw the face of this guy in the series, I thought, why did you stick a mouth in the middle of the faceplate?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's actually right. It's got a humanoid lips in the middle of the faceplate, which is probably where the 07 movie got the inspiration for Prime. But anyway, yeah,
that's very possible, isn't it?
I'm still keen for this. It's only Voyager size. Going off what third-party Voyagers are, I'm hoping this guy's 120 max.
Yeah, I could see it being about that. I would hope that it would be about 100 to 120 max. Like, I'm hoping closer to 100, of course. But yeah,
there is a lot more engineering going on here than what there would be for any MP car, but and even the accessory counts more weapons and inbuilt gimmicks like his shoulder cannons, his wrist cannons, that sort of thing. But I suppose it's all on how much paint they put on it. But
well, that's it. It's obviously been in development for a little while, I would say.
Yeah.
But
I think so. Yeah.
Whether he's the only one or not, well, we've got no masterpieces after August, so there's still a couple that haven't been announced. So
we're assuming that we're going to get one per month this year for some reason.
Well, we normally get something in November, December, so
yeah. Let's move on. It's time to talk about Hot Rod. For some reason, I've got an ad from TF Source in front of me that calls him Hot Road 2.0. Hot Road, which basically makes him Bitchman, which I guess makes him someone's bitch.
I like how you broke that down. That was good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
Especially given that the news article that this is attached to has the instruction sheet, which very clearly says Hot Rodimus, not Hot Road. So fair enough. Anyway, so there's been a lot of photographs of Hot Rod have snuck out this week. Now, the figure is due for release at the end of February. Most of the Masterpiece releases for this year do seem to be happening in the last week or the last couple of days of the month, especially for Chinese New Year, which is going to be happening right now. Like all the China factories and everything will be shut down. So yeah, if this figure is being manufactured in China, it's about to stop being manufactured for a week.
For a very long time.
Yeah, so like we can sort of calmly expect no exports from China for the next week or so, no matter whether they're Transformers or not. Now, there was a lot of negativity towards this figure when it was first revealed. A lot of people didn't like the way the bonnet folded down to to become the chest. They didn't like the headlights, and they also didn't like the way that the bonnet sort of folded around the shoulders. I think we've all gotten quite used to it.
I guess the fact that it's completely flat.
Yeah, I think the
biggest
flatness is actually. I think the flatness is actually something that people have expressed a few concerns about, but I think it looks good on the figure now. I'm quite used to seeing it, and I think the other lines on the figure look good as well. There's so many photographs of this guy out there now. It's getting kind of ridiculous. So I'm just going to go straight to the opinion piece. Travis, what do you think? Are you going to get yourself a Masterpiece Hot Rod?
He definitely scales better with a lot more of the I want to call them mainstream Masterpiece. So there's a pretty good chance.
Mm-hmm.
I like
those glasses, the so-called glasses.
The visor.
The visor. Should that not be a light blue?
I've seen
instead of clear.
I've seen a couple of different things of the visor. I think the visor is actually meant to show you his eyes through it.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm just
But
trying
I like
to think of the G1 card, the movie. But
Yeah.
Sorry, Travis, you were going to say?
Well, I'm getting this whole. I thought it was orange, transparent orange, but I could be wrong. His accessories are fantastic, like the fishing pole and the buzzsaw hand with the big cutoff wheel. All of that stuff is I dig that. I think it's pretty good.
that's why I want this figure, and I've done a complete 180 on it. I still do not like the flat chest, but I'm going to live with it. I've pre-ordered this and am going to get it, and I want it for that fishing pole pose solely.
Yep.
I quite like the fishing pole, although I do think maybe buying the figure for that accessory might be a little bit much, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yep.
Someone a couple of weeks ago mentioned some odd-looking knees on one of the third-party combiners, and
that's the fans toys. The fans toys Hot Rod has globes for knees, but
so Hot Rod seems to have a few interesting knee joints as well, judging by the fishing pole pose.
Yeah, they're a bit double. He's got a double joint.
Yeah.
That so he can get his legs sort of right back, I think.
yeah, it's almost like it was designed just to do that pose.
Yeah, I'd be
probably
surprised.
was.
I wouldn't be.
And as
Yeah,
we've
so-
seen this week, Ironhide's been designed to be shot by Apollyon, so
Yep.
they think about all these things when they're designing figures.
Yes, that's obviously the only thing that Ironhide is good for is to be killed by Megatron in photos. So look, looking at the comparison shot right at the bottom of the Cybertron post, he's about a head taller than the other Autobot cars, which I guess that's probably about right for Hot Rod.
You can't really compare because none of the Autobot cars were still alive when Hot Rod stood among the team.
Not entirely sure that that's true, but sure, okay, never mind.
That's what I'm going
Anyway,
with.
so it's a buy from me, it's a buy from Travis, and I think
I've brought it.
I think Brad's reaction is shut up and take my money, right?
Yeah. I've definitely moved mountains this week to try and acquire one. So.
All right. Let's move on. I think that's actually the end of our. That's the end of the Takara news. Bit of a short Takara week, Takara news week this week. Let's move on to some third-party news because we've got a little bit of it. Toy World has finally shown off a coloured image of their combined Constructor, which is Devastator. He looks pretty awesome. He's quite cartoon accurate in some of the colour and the paint applications, but he also has that hyper detailed look that we expect of the third parties. So, what do you guys think now? Brad, did you end up buying the Toy World Debbie?
Yes, I've also figures pre-ordered for XTrans Bots. In relation to this photo that we're seeing, YouTube viewers will see it. It's exactly the same photo as the prototype we've seen 6 months ago. They've just coloured it.
So do you think this is maybe a render rather than a photo, or is it actually a photo that they've actually just photoshopped?
No, this is just the prototype combined mode. They've just put the colour on. So I doubt this will be the official or original or end image.
How about the
Once it's
head?
done.
The head has earned him the nickname Afrostater.
I don't mind that because it sort of fits with the rest of the body.
I actually think his face is a little bit small.
Yeah, the face is small. I'll get that, but they had to try and fit all the batteries in there. I'd love to see if I can just plonk that off and put the Combiner Wars Devi head on top.
I think it would be even smaller, wouldn't it?
We'll see.
I mean, so Combiner Wars Devastator's head is pretty small.
I sold me Prowl Stater head, so I can't use that.
Well, so Combiner Wars Devastator's head is pretty small, and so like if you were to put that onto the Toy World Devastator, which is bigger, it's gonna be. It is bigger, right? Isn't it?
Is this the one that I keep seeing like pictures of just an arm compared to?
Yeah, Starscream and hands and.
Right. So this guy is about the same size as Titan Metroplex, yeah?
No, he's not quite. He's a head shorter.
Yeah.
He's taller than the Combiner Wars.
He's still bigger than
Devastator.
Combiner Wars Devastator. That's what I was getting at. So like.
Yeah. So this guy is going to be a monster.
Yeah, I think he's 20. I think he's 20 inches, where Devastator's 18 and Metroplex is 22.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's between the two, but yeah.
I'm
I just want to
having a
get
look
this. I just want to get this thing in hand.
at-
I don't.
Well, you've got either 1 or 2 or 3 months to wait.
Yeah, I still don't like, and this is again, this photo is exactly the same as the prototype. His pelvis is pointed forward in some sort of Elvis pose that I don't want from a Devastator. That's what ticked me off when I first seen this and say, hey, we've got new images of it painted. I said, well, that's exactly what the prototype done 2 months ago. Same shot.
I don't know. That doesn't look so bad to me because like the pose is meant to be a sort of a strong pose, and so you sort of want him to be sort of leaning back, and I think that's all right.
If you punch him in the front of the long haul, he's going to snap off at the pelvis, like the hip.
Okay, I think we might be overthinking this somehow, which I think might actually be the sign that it's time to move on. There are actually a couple of impressive shots of him being supported on one leg.
Yes. That's.
Well, so he's doing the
Sidekick.
Karate Kid, the crane, right? The Karate Kid pose, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I do love how the boxes all make a art thing of him.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. That looks neat. Yeah,
they've done that. Just sort of something different out of the boxes. A lot of people display their boxes on the shelves with the figures or beside the figures, so
It's definitely a nice effect. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. This guy is going to be talked about for months to come. Let's talk about Perfect Effect. They've announced 5 new upgrade kits for Combiner Wars combiners. So they've got one for Optimus Maximus. They've got another one for Superion, but this is for the G2 Superion, so it's a little bit different.
This is already just repainted.
I'm not entirely sure. There's one for Bruticus. There's one for Computron. Actually, there's one for
Betatron.
Yeah, whatever, Betatron.
Yeah.
Is that 2 for Bruticus?
Yeah. And there's So
repaint everything.
So basically they're all 2 hands, 2 feet. The one for Bruticus contains 2 guns, so that you can recreate a classic silhouette. Yay! And there's I don't know. They're all different. There's guns. There's breastplates. There's feet, and yeah, fair enough.
If you ever after extra add-ons for your figures, here's a place to get it.
Yeah, so the perfect combiner kits are pretty good. I think they're pretty consistent. Really, is perhaps the best thing that you can say about them. That like they don't always deliver the goods. Like some of the hands leave a little bit to be desired. Like they seem to be sort of like articulated pipes, but at least they're better than the hands that you get.
Anything's better than the factory. But see, the new Bruticus kits. The hand kit and the feet kit, they're completely different. They're now square fingers. So they've been a complete mold change. So they're 100% different. Yeah. So which is nice because, the whole pipe finger thing is, yeah.
Yeah. Aerobox sort of suits, but yeah.
Oh, it definitely suits them. But I'm looking forward to getting a kit that has slightly smaller feet and the better square hands that really suits the authentic, or not the authentics, the aesthetics is the word that I'm looking for of the bot itself. So it should be a good match.
Jason, have you done your Devastator yet?
I have not.
I haven't opened them. Guess what we're going to do tomorrow. All right. Okay.
Okay, let's move on. A little bit of controversy erupted this week about XTrans Bots. They've got two mini-bots coming out called Boost and Hatch. They're Windcharger and Tailgate from More Than Meets the Eye. Now, the controversy has come that this week they announced that they showed final shots of the bots, and the colours on them were different from what we'd actually seen in the renders that everyone saw and threw money at. So it's caused a little bit of a stir online. XTrans Bots has come out and said, all right, there's actually two colours for each of the bots. There's the toy accurate version and there's these new ones. And so there was, I guess it's sort of like the cartoon and the toy versions or the comic versions. And so they've come out and said there's now two colourways. It hasn't really helped anyone who's already pre-ordered and now thinks that they're actually going to be stuck with the wrong colour. So it's yet to be decided what's actually going to happen with these guys. There's I believe the pre-order price for these guys going in Hong Kong is somewhere around $135 to $140 for both of them, which is actually not a bad price for two mini bots of sort of these guys' pedigree, but I kind of feel like the controversy over the renders and the final colours is pretty damaging to XTrans Bots at the moment. Have you got any thoughts on that, Travis?
It's definitely something that they probably should have thought about, because everybody wants to spend their money on something that looks like something that they remember, or something that's, it's a direct you know what I'm talking about.
Resemblance.
Yeah, direct resemblance of, the TV show. So to go and basically release, pictures of, the supposed final color scheme and then go, hey, there's what we're sending out is not even remotely different. And I've heard it doesn't actually match anything at all. It's just a different colored chest with no tie to anything. It would definitely be annoying, because then people are going to be going, oh, well, I need to repaint this because it doesn't look the way that it should look. I think it's a bit of a low blow, whether or not it was an intentional or not, for them to turn around and release a color to bring in the pre-orders and then know all along that they were either had limitations in paint color or plastic color or whatever it is, whatever made them change the color initially. I think that a little bit of honesty and transparency is always a good thing. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so. This is the second tailgate that we've seen in recent months as well. So Make Toys has their tailgate out at the moment. He's currently sitting up in my Lost Light crew. He's looks quite at home there. And if I'm honest, the XTrans Bots one I don't think does. I mean, he's got a very different alt mode, in that he's got Windcharger's alt mode. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm sold on this. If like given that they're sort of like $120, $130 for or probably closer to $130 to $150 for both of them. Like, I don't think that's bad. I think they're probably a little bit larger. I think these guys are a little bit larger than the sort of Legends scale that the little mini bots are meant to be.
Yeah.
So like you're probably getting a decent sized figure for it, but yeah, I don't know. Their tailgate is not really a tailgate that I'm familiar with, and yeah. Oh, actually, no. So just looking at them, they're actually about the size of Masterpiece Bumblebee, a little bit bigger. So they are pretty small.
Micromasters.
No, they're not Micromasters.
No. But saying that makes me think that these. I remember having these as G1, and they were Micromasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little microcars.
Wind Charger. Yeah. I don't think tailgate existed in G1.
The red one was.
Yeah.
That would be Wind Charger.
Yeah, I've got that red one as a mini bot somewhere, but yeah, because the first reference I got to tailgate was Transformers.
Actually, no, sorry. Tailgate actually was in G1.
He's the white one.
Yeah,
okay.
Fair enough.
Well, if you can have one, you can paint it white and have a second.
Yeah, just spray them.
So actually, wow, I actually didn't realize this, but yeah, tailgate in G1 is pretty much like the figures that XTrans Bots has produced, and I think if I look up Wind Charger is also pretty. Yeah, so like you could actually say that tailgate and Wind Charger are pretty much brothers in the G1 continuity, at least. When you look at the TF Wiki page for tailgate, you will see a sort of a G1 Marvel comic drawing of him. So yeah, fair enough. I take it back. I actually had thought the tailgate was originally a character from More Than Meets the Eye. I didn't realize that they'd actually sort of brought him up and recycled him.
They've done some digging then.
Yeah, they certainly did. So look, anyway, there's so XTrans Bots has some splaining to do.
They have some proving to do.
They do. I mean, look, XTrans Bots has a really good pedigree at the moment. They've got Apollyon and they've got Andros, and there's another Wheelie and Sonic. There's another couple of figures that they've got under their belt. They've started this new Master Mini series, which I think actually carries on from something that they've been doing for a little while. But yeah,
something Iggy was doing for a little while.
This is true. Yeah, it's also true.
But
so yeah,
they're gone. So come in.
Yeah. So Brad, XTrans Bots Booth and Hatch.
No.
Do they find a home in your collection?
No.
Travis.
The red one I'd consider it just because I've got the red mini bot, but I've got no interest in these in bot mode, whether they're mainly comic inspired or what. XTrans Bots for me, they've done Apollyon. They tried to make it better for a second run, and blah, they've done Andreas, and they released or they announced 30 more figures, and they have not proven themselves yet for me to put any more money to them.
Apollyon was much delayed as well.
And I do understand that trying to engineer a handgun into a bot.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the reason. It simply was.
Yeah, it was, and I understand why it was. And then Andreas come out, and there was issues with that I will not buy it, and I don't see any of their new figures redeeming that yet. So, no.
I'd be quite happy to get Akos if I could get my hands on him because, well, it's very unique.
Which one, sorry?
The Beachcomber. The Beachcomber build.
Okay, yeah.
From those guys, because, well, I think he's very, 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 very well built. Well, not necessarily well built, but just a very good representation of the G1 character, and the little accessories that he comes with. But it's the fact that no one else has got one either. Like, I mean, as far as the Turbo Devi goes, and this is sort of taking a quick step back, I'm up to the back teeth with Devi builds. Like everyone's got one, everyone wants to build one, only for the fact that it's self, and that's it. It's like no one wants to step out and do anything that is unique. This for me, yeah, that would be the only bot that I would buy from XTrans Bots at the moment. Would be Akos. But yeah, these two little guys, I probably wouldn't even bother with. I don't think. Not at this stage, unless I had a full kit of Autobot vehicles, and yeah, probably. It'd be a way to go.
All right, let's move on from XTrans Bots and let's talk about another third-party company that's playing fast and loose with colors on figures. Bad Cube has a special version of Sun Surge that's painted in red, and they're calling him Sentinel Blaze. So, if you thought Takara dug back into their past for some of the Diaclone inspired repaints on the Masterpiece line, you ain't seen nothing yet, because Bad Cube has based this version of Sun Surge on a figure that was released by Takara in 1982. It was a transforming Lamborghini Countach figure, which is supposed to be the very first toy in history designed to turn from a vehicle to a robot, but I do think those were around a little bit before 1982. But still, so yeah, basically, he's a red Sun Surge. Now, do you guys have Sun Surge in your collections?
No, I missed out, and this is definitely tickling interest.
Now, is it tickling interest because you want a red Lamborghini, or is it because you think it's going to represent Sideswipe?
Well, no, because it's not that same red. It's a lot more.
Well, it's not even Sideswipe. Like, it's a very different body design as well.
Yeah, but just the colour, it's a lot lighter. It's almost a reddy orange, maybe a blood orange colour. I miss Sun Surge. Jason, you brought Sun Surge. Would you get that mould again in another colour?
Not this colour.
Not this colour?
If there was a reason to get that mould in another colour, like if there was a character that was actually a legit repaint of Sunstreaker, then maybe, but I don't have the need. I don't have the need for a red Sun Surge or a red Sunstreaker, and I'm wary about going for another Bad Cube bot. Like I think they need to simplify their transformation process a bit. Sun Surge, the transformation process around the bonnet, not the bonnet so much actually, but the roof, the intake vents, and the intake vents and the rear fins was so complicated. It was so complicated. I just feel like it didn't need to be that complicated, and to be honest, it's made me wary of actually buying Bad Cube stuff in the future.
Yeah. Looking at the very bottom image where it's got him stand next to his alt mode, he has got an ironhide nappy on that I don't think should be ignored, and his legs look really weird. They bow out.
So this is a problem with Sun Surge in general, right? I think the chest is too short. I think the chest is too short, and I think that image doesn't really do justice to how the legs usually stand on these figures. Like, I do feel like that's probably poorly positioned legs in that shot. Might be because it's a prototype that they're trying to stand up. I don't know. It's not how Sun Surge generally looks when standing up, but I think it's a bit unfair. I think it's become this thing in fandom that ever since we saw and mocked Masterpiece Ironhide, we've started calling that section the nappy. I don't think that's really fair. I don't think it's really fair to the designers or just the design of the bots. But I also think that section he's just slightly disproportionate because the chest is a bit short. I mentioned this when I posted a bunch of pictures of Sun Surge in TCCA. The chest just seems a little bit short to me. If it was a centimetre longer, might be a little bit more of a goer.
It just looks like he's holding his breath. Like he's puffed up and he's holding his breath.
And that's the issue with the mold itself. Like especially with the colour, you got the black windows, so you can't really see a window where the window ends and the hip section starts. So it's sort of, as you said, it looks like he's sucking it in because he wants to impress someone. But
he wants to impress you. He wants you to buy him.
Oh, that top photo of him running at the camera is impressing me much. But
Is or is not?
Is.
It is. Yeah. It's. There's lots of poses that you can do with the figure.
Yeah.
Like his joints move and hold fairly freely. But yeah, I don't know. I've got the yellow one. I don't need the red one.
Yeah, I absolutely love that Lambo mode, alt mode. My red alert sitting on my display in Lambo mode because it looks so good.
I got to say, the one thing that would possibly make me buy the figure is that, of course, a Lamborghini looks better in red than yellow, right?
Cannonball Run, baby.
Yeah.
But just as a slight comparison between this and Ocular
Max? Or wait, you're not talking about Ocular Max. You're talking about Omnigonic Spin Out.
Omnigonic, yeah, Spin Out. On that, like on this, you've got the holes in the rims that are open, where Ocular Spin Outs, they're all enclosed, and I just who done that? Who released that Ocular Spin Out? Do we know? I can't recall.
You're talking about Omnigonics.
Omnigonics, yeah. Who's that? Is that Bad Cube?
That is Omnigonics. They are their own company.
Oh, okay. We won't report on them again. Alright, so yeah, I'll just... yeah.
I would say Omnigonics Spin Out is in fact apparently due in the next couple of weeks. I did see an update, I think, posted... Oh, I got to check into this.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to go to that now because they've missed out on this, and that's unfortunate because I definitely think this is a better looking figure. This is a masterpiece.
Sorry, are you talking about Sun Surge or are you talking about Spin Out? You said it's a better looking bot, but you haven't said which one's better.
The Sun Surge mold.
Sun Surge better than Spin Out.
Not Ocular, whatever. Omnitronics.
Okay, his name's Spin Out. Let's just talk about the figure. Let's just talk about the figures. It's either Sun Surge or Spin Out. Which one's better?
By Omnitronics.
Spin Out.
Yeah, Spin Out looks like shit. Okay, he looks like a upscaled Generations, but okay.
Yeah, so I kind of agree. Like, I don't necessarily like either of them. Like I said when I post about Sun Surge, I'm not in love with it. So Spin Out looks like an upscaled deluxe, which he still may end up sort of being an upscaled deluxe in that respect. It's also worth remembering that Sun Surge, the chest design is fake. It clips in and it slides into the bottom of the vehicle mode. So, the windows and stuff, they're definitely not the actual vehicle windows. It's kind of a trade-off between the two. Like in terms of the one that you design, the one you prefer for the chest, it is worth remembering that in the Generations Sunstreaker, the car windows actually do become his chest, and so if you're a latter-day collector, you will probably prefer to go with Omnigonics. But if you're a G1 style Masterpiece collector, you'll probably go with Sun Surge.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway, I won't be getting this. Travis, are you interested in Blaze?
No, hasn't tickled my fancy at all, in any way, shape, or form.
Has Sun Surge?
Yeah, I put a pre-order in for Sun Surge as soon as he was, as soon as they were available. But unfortunately, that fell through, and I didn't end up getting him. So
yeah, that was the same thing I done too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just kind of give it a miss because it all became too hard then.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. All right. So in the spirit of moving on, let's move on. We've got one more we've got one more figure that we need to talk about, and that is the Iron Factory Blizzard. So he's a triple changer. He's based on Blitzwing. He doesn't look huge. He's
Iron Factory is a bit of the Legend stuff.
Yeah, Iron Factory makes some pretty small figures. Now, so Iron Factory's actually had a set going around at the moment with some Cybertron style, Cybertron mode Smokescreen and Prowl and Blue Streak, which is pretty impressive. And so look, I think we looked at a couple of these images last week for Blizzard. He's not bad looking when you consider his size.
He looks pretty solid.
Yeah, he is pretty solid, but I think what's ended up happening is that a lot of people have seen a picture of his robot mode and just gone, oh, I don't really like those proportions at all, without realizing that he's actually probably like 10, maybe 15
Legend
centimeters
Commander.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like most of the Iron Factory figures. Yeah, he's quite small. The Iron Factory they actually pump out these figures quite an impressive rate, really, don't they?
Mm. They have been getting some new ones out lately.
Yeah. So I know people who collect Iron Factory figures, and they're looking forward to this guy. Seeing how excited people have gotten about this figure makes me feel a little bit bad for not feeling terribly excited about him. But I don't have a collection that this guy fits into, so it's a pass from me, but a possible maybe circle around and purchase later in the year because I'm probably not going to buy much Titan Returns.
You don't have a swarm attacking your Metroplex?
Not really. He's in a box.
Small Vance, maybe then.
Yeah, maybe.
I was definitely on the attacking, thinking this looks like shit. Now that I know he's a Legends figure, I can retract that statement wholeheartedly and eat some crow. I love how he's got a super deformed version of the Generations Blitzwing sword. If you want to that.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah. Tank mode, he's got a big set of feet hanging out the front. Plane mode, his feet just come together at the front. Okay. Triple changes, they're always going to have one good mode and one crap mode. So,
yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Look, anyway, I'm not entirely sure how much this guy is. Yeah, don't know. We'll see. He's due out in April, so got a couple of months to make your mind up yet.
$45.
$45 US, is that all?
Yep.
Okay, so that's only 4,000 Australian, so you should be able to handle that.
6.2 million New Zealand, so all good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Look, I'll mortgage my house for it. Do you know what I won't mortgage my house for?
Do you need to mortgage your house for?
Well, I'm not interested in these guys, so I'm not. But let's talk about a couple of little statues that I say little; they're not actually little.
No, far from it.
We've got a couple of statues that have come out of the movie lines. So 3A Transformers has put out a Dark of the Moon Megatron. Actually, I'm not sure. Have they put him out yet? Yeah, no, he's out. I think someone's got a hold of him and posted a review of him in TFW, and he's kind of interesting. He's got the whole sort of cloak over him that Megatron had in the movie for no good reason really, but it was quite rusty, and he's very detailed, and that's all I have to say about him. Like he's an accurate looking figure for a figure that I'm not interested in.
My favourite Megatron of the live action movie series is the Dark of Moon Megatron. This looks shithouse. The chest, the whole chest, torso, everything is just like a moulded plate. There's no detail or there's nothing from the movie there. I don't understand what's happened. Something's gone wrong here. Seriously wrong.
Error.
Error. I love the head sculpts, the rubber-looking tires. He's got his shotgun, but there's just, for instance, there's no chains.
No, there's chains.
Yeah, with his cloak. They're on the other figure, on the full figure though. So I don't know what's.
Okay, I think we might just move on because I think it's getting a resounding thumbs down. Travis, do you have any thoughts on it? Do you collect these guys?
No, I don't. This is obviously not a transforming bot in any way, shape, or form, is it? It's just purely a sculpture. I
think you can pose him, but he doesn't transform.
Yeah, see, as far as a sculpture goes, he's pretty cool. He's definitely very thick through the torso, but whatever. The details are just off the chain. It is just insane.
Oh, just like the rusted scorch marks on the steel, stuff like that.
Just amazing.
That's stuff that there's no wonder why it's an $800 figure. It's like sit there and spend the time to do paint apps like that.
Should just point out the author of the review in question on TFW 2005 has done a fantastic job of the photos of the figure as well. He's captured a lot of the detail because we're not looking at press images here. We are actually looking at a fan making photographs of the images. So I just wanted to point out. So it's his username on TFW is Tony Bacala. Good on you, Tony. Good job. Excellent photography, and also, quite the good review.
Yeah, and with a lot of figures like their Prime and B, it's you got the mold, then a lot of the details in paint, but this sort of stuff looks like it's actually etched into the plastic or polystone, whatever it's made of. Like some of the rust paint work and that, it looks like it's actually embossed into the figure and not just paint.
It's very possible, yes.
So
let's move on. There is another movie-inspired statue, which is from Prime One studio, and they've got a Lockdown figure from Age of Extinction. Now, he's also impressively detailed. He's $1,600 US, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show started. He comes with two robot wolves, dogs, whatever they are, that we call Steeljaw. And you can, at the time of purchase, you can elect to get an extra 2 Steeljaws for $300, which does bring the total up to about $1,900 US, 11 million Australian. So yeah, it's going to cost you a lot if you want to import this figure, but I think you sort of have to. I think you have to consider how much of a fan you are if you want Lockdown in your statue collection, especially given the size of these things. So, yeah. There are 2 versions of him. There's an extra version of him that's got a weapon hook of some kind. They're making 500 of those, and the regular version they're making 1,000 of them. So it's not going to be a hugely widely distributed figure. Like I think companies like Hot Toys, they have a much, I guess they're much smaller, but they have a much more, a much wider run for their figures. Like we see people cropping up on TCCA all the time saying, "Oh yeah, I've got Hot Toys Prime." I've never seen anyone in Australia with one of these statues.
Yes, there is. I've seen someone. He had the Megatron.
Okay, so one. I think that does kind of make the point.
And God, it's nearly 2.
I think you're making the point. That's okay. So the statues are going to be ridiculously expensive if you want to import them. They are also ridiculously detailed. If you have the kind of house where you can put these guys on display, then go for it. They will look so impressive. Like put them behind a glass cabinet, light them appropriately. Like it will be great. But I think I speak for the 3 of us when I say if you had the kind of house where you could put these guys on display, you probably would rather have a G1 figure of a G1 representation on there. Although maybe not. I don't know. I think I'm definitely more G1. I think Brad, you might be more movie based than me. I don't know. What do you think? Would you rather have a movie prime or a G1 prime if you had the space to display a massive figure like this?
Hand me your address because I'm going to fly there and gush over this figure. It is on your display.
Which figure are you looking at in my display?
Lockdown.
Oh, if you
buy
not me. Okay, right, fair enough.
No, yeah. if you're buying this, I discussed previously how much I'd love to get the movie Ironhide, but this guy just,
he's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He looks impressively detailed, like in the same way that Megatron was pretty detailed as well. But I just don't have a place for it.
And it's going to be over $2,000 Australian to get it here, but just the detail is there. It's not MP10 gold plated and saying buy it for 10 grand. There's definitely the detail in these figures.
And this is all hand painted, isn't it? It's not a mass produced item.
No.
Well, there's 1,500 of them on the planet.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's pretty limited. Even with those numbers, it's limited.
We'll see it comes out tax time. Although I'm flying to the Gold Coast for Supernova Gold Coast this year, so we'll see what happens there.
All right. Let's move on from something that we're not going to buy and talk about things that we have. Brad, you have no new acquisitions this week.
I was waiting for Masterpiece Ironhide. It shipped on Tuesday and it has not got here, so I can't hold anything up to the screen.
Oh well, fair enough.
I have my camera. I'm on my camera. Hello. That comes this week. Yeah.
Okay, so I do have Masterpiece Ironhide, but I also can't hold him up to the camera because I can see him off in the distance over behind the computer.
Right. Talk about it next week when we get a chance to play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, actually, you know what I did get this week? I managed to get myself an Apollyon.
Ah, nice. Yep.
Yeah. It was a second hand. I purchased him from another collector, but very, very nice looking figure. I think we had an Apollyon on the desk at Supernova in Sydney, Brad, and I think I was scared to touch him.
Yeah. Not many did. They sort of picked it up by the waist and had a look and put it straight back down again. So
yeah, very, very impressive figure. He's really nice. He's still sitting in his box, so I haven't really got him out much. I haven't got him out to play. We'll see how that goes in the next week or so. Other than that, no, that's about it for me. Yeah, Ironhide and Apollyon.
Ah.
Now, Travis. You've been absent from the show for a while. I'm going to put a limit on your recent acquisitions of 1 month.
Ah, you sure you want to do that?
Well, it doesn't. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. I was going to say it does encompass Christmas, but it doesn't quite. So anything you got for Christmas doesn't count.
Ah, okay. Let me see. Well, I got the complete Combiner Wars Bruticus.
Very nice.
And
yep.
the Shockwave as well. That's good. I'm making my own blast off because the jet blast off was rubbish.
Actually, I see a number of companies, or a number of companies, and a number of individuals are actually taking it upon themselves to make their own blast off. I think Brad, you posted about this in the group earlier today.
No.
No, you didn't. Well, someone did. It's alright. I thought you did.
No, Travis been posting.
Actually, no. I think Travis, you posted it, didn't you?
I did post something up there a little while ago.
Yeah.
Just with some progress shots. I'm yet to paint him, so that might happen on the weekend. But I'm pretty busy. But we'll see what happens. But he's all together. He just needs to be painted now. What else have I got? I finally finished my Chug Seekers that I was after, so I got the big 6 now. So I got Starscream and Dirge. What else have I got in the last month? I'm just looking around my room and trying to I got a few movie figures. I got Voyager Ironhide and Ratchet and another little Bumblebee. And I also got this Alternities. Prime.
Prime. That's actually quite the sought after figure.
Yeah, so it's the silver GDR, the 35, and this figure is insane. It's got like vented discs, it's got brake calipers, it's got an engine, it's got an interior, it's gear knobs.
It is interesting. I think Takara took a lot of the stuff that they learned out of making vinyl techs, and I think we've talked about this before. I think Takara's designers got pretty bored towards the end of the vinyl tech series, and like even the Optimus Prime that they ended the series on, like the Dodge pickup truck. Wasn't particularly good, wasn't particularly inspired, and I think maybe it's because by that time they were actually looking to what they were going to do next with the alternative figures. They're a little bit smaller and far more detailed, and I think you can almost see, I can see engineering from Vinyltex informing some of the Chug figures that we get today, and I wonder if the alternative figures seem to have a lot of sort of hyper detail to them, almost maybe like some of the movie figures, or maybe the alternative figures are what's going to be coming next for some of the Chug line.
Who knows? But it was definitely, it blew me out the water. Just the detail and the way that it transforms and everything else. It was like MP, like better than MP. It's fantastic. The doors open, the bonnet opens, everything's there. So it's very good. And I got a junk heap as well, like the little junk heap, the Junkticon, the bike.
The other bike, the other one that besides Wreckgar.
Yeah, that. Cool. And now I have 4 different versions of Shockwave. So I've got a KFC here, and then I've got something else. I don't know what he is. He's this one. I'm not quite sure. A good friend Sam gave it to me.
I'm not actually sure what that one is either. Sorry, can you turn him around a little bit to the back?
Yep. So he's got just like the gold pipework on his back. You can sort of see there. I'm not 100% sure what third party he is. He did say, but I wasn't listening at the time.
No, fair enough. Oh, yeah, he's pretty impressive. He's got a nice. He's got a nice cool. different colour to him. Like the orange adds something different to him that we haven't seen much before.
Yeah, so he's up there as well. So, but that's pretty much my month, I think.
Yeah, cool. Look, I think we've been going for a while. It's probably about time that we brought the podcast to an end, because acquisitions are generally the end of the podcast, and it is getting late because we are recording on a Friday night. Do we have any shameless plugs to add for the week ahead? I am heading to PopCon, which will have happened by the time this show goes out already. So that's probably no help to anyone. Do we have any cons coming up in the next couple of weeks that we're going to?
Comic-Con. Comics Expo in Collingwood and Melbourne, the 28th of February. We will be there. Pleasant Surprises are going to be there also. So if you are in the Melbourne area, come on by, have a look. I think it's $5 entry or $10 entry. Someone posted it today. Doing that. As you listen to this, membership giveaways are happening. The February donation raffle is live, so get your donations in now and get on that.
Speaking of the donations, I think I've got a whole bag full of bots to donate. So
great man. Yep.
So we are actually trying to collect some bots to give away to kids at conventions. So we feel like it would be good if we're actually able to, like, if a kid comes up to the table and have a lucky dip or anything like that, just for like a little Legends bot. If you've got some bots hanging around the house, I've just realised I've got a couple here that I can donate as well. So or if if you do feel like making an actual donation to the club, if you go into any stores and you do see some of the little bots going on sale for like, $3 or $4 each, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if you grabbed some and you might make a difference to a kid at a con.
Yep.
You might you might even make a Transformers fan out of them. So.
Yeah.
Better than drugs.
Yeah, get them hooked on Transformers instead of drugs. Totally a good idea. Yeah.
Plastic crack.
I'm actually not sure which one empties your wallet faster.
Yeah, I've seen that meme today.
Okay, guys, I think it's time we finish because it's getting late and I think we're all going to fall asleep. So this has been Off the Shelf. We are the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. The three of us are, in fact, part of the voice of the club. So, yeah, I'm Jason. It's goodbye from me. And it's also going to be a goodbye from Brad.
Goodbye.
And from our special guest this week, Travis Watts. Farewell, sir. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated.
Pleasure as always, lads.
Well, let's try not to make it another year before the next one rolls around, shall we?
Yeah. Yep.
I agree.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. And that's going to bring it to an end.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Meow.
Meow. Nice.
Thank you for downloading this latest episode of Off the Shelf, the voice of the Transformers Collectors Club Australia. For further information, check out Facebook, where we have our Off the Shelf page, hit like, or even check out the Transformers Collectors Club Facebook group. Any and all feedback is more than welcome. You can send email to transformerscca@gmail.com or head on over to iTunes and leave us a review there. Also, Podbean have a review section where you can rate us, and that way we get out to more people. Till all are one.
It's recorded.
No, it wasn't. Okay, Hangout is going. All right. Blah. Hello, anyone who happens to see this video by accident before Brad makes it private.
You can't do that from the start.
Oh, I can. I just did. Okay.
Deal.
Man, I don't know. You put people on camera and look at what happens. Travis is sharing. Travis is sharing the video feed with his MP10. I don't know what that means.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
It is your mute.
You can sit here, but you have to be very quiet.
Oh, hello.
You can't.
What, baby?
I said I will be quiet.
Alright, you sit on me and be quiet.